a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Well, I'm very happy to have returning back to the show for another visit. He is a singer, songwriter, a composer. That's just a few of the things he does. Time to talk to Peter Tam. Welcome back, Peter.
Good morning, Nancy. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I'm on my cell phone, so I get to move around because I might I don't know. This is what I do at home all the time. I'm going between my studio office, which is here, and my other piano and for practice. So I got practice room. So this morning, yeah, I guess we're just talking about some of the new things that's happening with me. Is that what your plan is?
Well, I hope so. Yeah. It's your
okay.
It's your interview. You talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. Well, I'm as when you just got the call going, I'm just starting out with organizing my my day. This is what as a musician, this is what I do most of the time. I don't know if other musicians do the same thing, but all the administration of managing the shows and bookings and then the recordings, and there's so many stuff. I'm just sitting here in my office on my computer most of the time.
Right. Okay, so to remind people of some of the things you do before you get into what's new, but remind them what you do.
I do recording. So this is my now I do recording. It really depends on the song and everything. So this is my little studio that I have in my house, and it usually starts with concepts. So if the song is going to just be really basic, I would just do it from here, pretty much the entire production. So the last song that I put out is called Spirits Will Guide You Home. That song is all recorded here in my studio because I have some upgrades, new sound modules, and new instruments. This is all virtual. So, but with these upgrade, it allows me the capability of creating a lot of new sound, and I have my own way of the only thing that I need to record that is non-digital is just my voice and voices and the violin. So that it's all can be done here in my little home studio.
Right.
But some songs that requires full drum kit and full band, that I take that to a studio, to a regular, like recording studio,
Right.
and hire an engineer to put everything together. So it's a mix, and I guess that's how a lot of musicians are doing things these days. Wherever you can save some money by just doing it yourself, yeah, that's what we got to do. And we have to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and we have the technologies too, and it's getting easier these days.
Yeah. I just want to remind the audience that you also do tributes to Billy Joel and Elton John, right?
Yes. So there's I've recently not only just playing my own music, I play the covers. I play Elton John and Billy Joel as a songbook, and the show is called Piano Man. That's it's on hold for a little bit until I kind of getting regroup. So it's on hold until January. But that's good because I have so many shows booked now. We're doing a Christmas show where it's a folk jazz trio, folk jazz rock. That's what I call it. But because every time I plug in my music to AI, to the system, it uses AI to identify my genre. It keeps coming up as singer-songwriter folk. So it stuck folk in there, and I thought I was really just trying to go towards jazz, but somehow it kind of became a little folkish. But hey, there's nothing wrong with folk. I mean, folk means like people music, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe because it's a little bit simpler than jazz. You know how jazz sometimes could be a little bit more of an acquired taste for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I guess my music, my versions of jazz is a little bit more palatable for most people. So that's why they call it folk. So I'm calling it folk jazz
Okay.
because it's still based on a lot of jazz ideas and concepts.
Right.
And
I must tell you that my sister and I went to one of your shows, and you know, as you know, I live in Chilliwack, and we put in the GPS, and I don't know what that GPS doing, but it took us about, oh well, I don't know. We got home a lot faster than we got to the show. We just got there, but we were so tired because it was a sunny day. The bright sun was shining in the car like the whole way, and we could hardly even think by the time we got to your show. We're just
yeah, that was the one in Tawasin, wasn't it?
yes. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry that we stayed for the first half, but we just, oh, we couldn't keep our eyes open, you know, because that, you know how the sun, when it's constantly hitting you through the windshield.
Yeah.
Well,
There's pros and cons to sunny days.
yeah, but it was the GPS.
Yeah.
Instead of taking us a direct route, I don't know what the heck had done. And my sister said, she kept saying, something's wrong. you know, but anyway, we kept.
Well, yeah, you know, there's no, here in the lower mainland, there really isn't a direct route on anywhere.
Well, listen, that's another thing. I did an interview in Mission on location with the GPS, and we had to go past, is it Dudney Trunk? So we get to this one stop, and it's Dudney Trunk, before we stop, Dudney Trunk this way, and this way, and this way. Is both say Dudney Trunk. It's like the GPS was totally confused that day.
Wow. Yeah. Especially Mission. Mission's even worse.
Anyway,
So-
I digress. So let's talk about your shows.
Well, yeah, no, I'm glad that you get a chance to come out and see that Piano Man show. So that's one of the show that I do, and another show that I do is it's a folk jazz trio. So there's well, just want to warn you, I'm making a cup of coffee. That show that we're planning on doing is a Christmas show. It's gonna incorporate about 50% Christmas songs with some originals and some I call them popular jazz. These are the jazz songs, like, you know, played by Michael Bublé's been bringing it back, like All of Me, Louis Armstrong's Wonderful World. But we play it with a little bit of a twist of kind of upping the beat a little bit, and instead of that traditional jazz, it's what we call folk jazz, which is a little bit more upbeat, a little more catchy, to create a little bit more of a incentive for people to tap their feet and and maybe even dance with them.
Right.
So we take these songs, we have original songs with the Christmas songs that we're working on, that starting on December 2nd, we're going to have our first show at the Crescent Beach Legion.
These are for the public, right?
Yeah, these are all public shows.
Okay.
And then the second one would be at the Aperture Coffee on Main Street in Vancouver. And then the third one would be at the Bennett Kitchen in Poco.
Okay.
And so this show, hopefully, this is more of a Christmas festival show. It's bringing those Christmas songs out, songs like White Christmas, and Rocking Around Christmas Tree, songs that people know really well.
Mhm.
but would play them a little bit more upbeat and danceable, and hopefully, that's sort of like a more of a twist to things. That's what we're trying to do.
Right.
Um,
So people wanted to get tickets. Could they just contact you on Facebook, or is there a better way to contact you?
Oh yeah, any Facebook, Eventbrite, it's all over the place, and Facebook would be best. And it's also posted on a number of other event calendars, such as Do 604, Bands in Town. So these are local event calendars, what's going on. And yeah, Facebook is basically it's our main communication. Unfortunately, I hate Facebook, but I have to use it. It's one of those things that you just can't get away from. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't like it. Sometimes it's just it's just so overwhelming, and I feel like that. You're constantly on there trying to compete for time, trying to compete for attention, and it's and keep trying to. I don't know. Is that what the world is coming to these days? Everybody's trying to get
Yeah.
attention.
Unless we all want to take a step back, that is what the world's coming to. And nobody, I don't know anybody that wants to take a step back, really, when you think about it, right?
Yeah, it's just so when you're into the marketing, see the music art business and everything, it's all marketing. It's all part of it's all marketing. That's what I found. Because like before I got into becoming a musician, I was doing engineering work. I was just kind of sitting in my little cubby hole designing engineering data tracking system for flight controls in NAV Canada. So I have a fixed group of people that I work with. I know, like just dealing with computers and all that, and have pretty much one single objective. And you need some creativity, but there's not so much of a lot of these marketing type of thing. I don't need to market anything.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new world for me to try to deal with social media, Facebook, Instagram, and now there's TikTok. I don't even I put some stuff on TikTok, but yeah.
I haven't mastered TikTok yet. I'm not
I don't know. It's just I think you kind of have to just step back a little bit and okay, do I really need all this? Am I gonna put in all these extra effort to start another following, another platform? So yeah, I think I'm just gonna just stick with the Facebook, and I think now that COVID is over, we're starting getting back into more of a real life personal relationship. So people that I'm dealing with, that I do a lot of shows at senior places, retirement homes.
Oh, nice.
And I love those because they're such, well, it works really well for the songs that I do. I play all these old songs that everybody knows. And then they're not very old, but because like the people at a lot of the retirement places, they're around pretty much the same age as I am. So I'm, it's we're really just looking at songs from 70s and 80s, and that's not really old. There's a lot of good rock and roll songs that's from a lot of these artists that I grew up with.
Right.
So I don't even have to go back that far. But I like and the thing is that this group, the people who are this age, they are sort of like a spread between these ages. They appreciate those old time Louis Armstrong, Frank Sinatra, and they also know something about the new Billy Joel, Elton John.
Right.
And that's where I really fit in, because I play a mix of that, a spread of it, and they just love it because It's not the old kumbaya type of song.
Mm.
So it's a little bit more exciting, and God knows a lot of them needs a little bit more excitement.
And there's something about music that just wakes people up mentally, like just wakes them up, right?
It, some of them even have tears in their eyes sometimes,
Yeah.
and that really hits me in that environment. So I love playing in that environment because we have attentive audience. I get feedback. I work best when I get feedback and engagement.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing at noisy pubs and people are just yapping, talking by themselves and not there for the music, I'm shying away from that. I got calls for it, but I decline a lot of these pub type of shows because you're just a wallflower, pretty much competing for noise.
Yeah.
And I don't. That's not the environment I want to be in. So
I understand, I used to do stand-up and it was the same thing, you doing stand-up in a bar, it's like, why, it's almost like, well, why bother?
Yeah, and then some of the bars, they have televisions, like all these TV screens all over the place having sports events on there. It's just so, I think I can't handle it because I have this, I may have some disorder. I think everybody has some sort of disorder of ADHD or when there's too much lights and noise and all that type of thing, I start to shut down there.
Yeah.
And I found that. Have you ever been to like a Chinese restaurant in Richmond?
No.
Well, some of the Chinese restaurants in Richmond have very bright lights and very noisy. All the people are talking and the cutleries and everything clanking.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a absolutely sensory overload. And when I'm in that environment, my brain's starting to shut down. I start to go sleepy.
Well, it's like my son lives in China, so the first time I went to Beijing and just the horns, the cars honking their horns, it's like, oh my, it was so overwhelming. Same thing. I just want to go into the hotel room and stay in the room for a while, It's just crazy. But I never, like, I question all the time, why do restaurants even, why do they have to, it doesn't have to be a bar. Some of the restaurants have their screens on and the music and people talking. Why do they have to have that background sound as well? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's not needed. It's not necessary, But
I know, why have a live music playing while you have all these other things going on?
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't, that the music, if they have TVs when you're playing, they should turn those off, at least during your performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I even get distracted when I'm playing. I was watching the TV. There's something interesting on it. Yeah, because you get distracted. It's so distracting. And
it's unfortunate because there's nothing more enjoyable about being at a live musical event.
Right. You want to be connected with the artist.
Yes.
The person is there live. They're telling a story. They're performing their talent, and you want to take in all of it. That's what you're there for, right? So mixing it up with all this noise and everything just completely taken away. And it's I hope that things would eventually change, but maybe not. I don't know what it is. But as for me personally, all I can do is I just pick and choose and play where I'm comfortable.
Right. And it's nice that you can do that. That you have that option, right? So just remind everybody once again, your first event for December is on the 3rd, is it?
It's on the 3rd. and the second one's on the 9th, and the third one's on the 23rd. It's all the same show, different locations, just spread out across the Lower Mainland.
Right.
And the best thing is to look at all the details on Facebook, on my webpage, petertam.ca.
Right.
It's advertised all over the place. And those shows, because it's in December, is strictly Christmas. And so I'm just concentrating on Christmas right now.
Okay.
But in January, we're gonna get the Billy Joel Elton John's that going again.
Right.
Look what I found.
Oh, where'd you get that?
That's my geek accessory bag
Right.
for the Piano Man show. I just found that yesterday
Right.
at Value Village.
Of all places, well, very good.
Oh yeah, I go to Value Village every Tuesday. I go to Value Village because I get seniors discount, and I look for weird stuff, and that's what I get. You know, I look for things that are uncommon that I could either use for show or just yeah, because that's where you got a lot of junk there too. But there's sometimes you can find. It's more. It's like a little treasure hunt, you know. Every Tuesday, I go up a little treasure hunt, see what I can find, something that's unusual.
Well, that was a good find. That was a good find. Okay, well, sorry. Go ahead.
Another new thing is that I have this new album. I had this out for a while, but now the vinyl is in green.
Oh my goodness!
Instead of black. So
All right.
a new batch of vinyls. They're in green, and because the green color is now finally available.
Right.
So I hope to have some of these at the shows coming up. And as a matter of fact, I made it so that the first 5 people that purchase tickets will get one of these automatically.
Very good.
I'll bring them to the show and give it out to the people who purchase the tickets. The first, but not everybody, because I can't afford to do that. But the first 5 people that purchase tickets for each one of the show will get a 12-inch vinyl. Even if you don't have a vinyl player, it's just a piece of souvenir.
Yeah.
Because it has paintings and lyrics and all that type of thing inside. And that's why I think a lot of people are doing that these days. They don't even have a record player, but they're buying Taylor Swift records.
Okay.
Yeah, she had them. You know, a lot of artists are making vinyl records, but they're really just like a souvenir collector's thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're running out of time because Zoom's going to give me a notice in a minute. But I just want to remind everybody. Peter Tam is on Facebook, so if you want to go to his event, and I encourage you to go because it really is so much fun to be there. That music touches you more than listening it. I mean, it's nice to be able to listen to it on your radio or whatever it is you have, but to be there, it's just special. And tell him Nancy sent you.
Well, yeah, so glad that we have live music coming back because. It's
important.
Not the same.
It's important.
And I think, a lot of the thing is that we can be thankful for COVID is that it gives us the appreciation of being out there, being live, being with people. And I think that's one of the things that COVID had taught us.
Yeah, the importance
we need each other.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Peter. And thank you, everybody, for watching the show. I really hope you continue to do so. And remember, get out there, buy a ticket, go to Eventbrite or go to Peter Tam on Facebook and find out what he has. He'll share everything with you. Anyway, thanks, everybody, for watching. Take care and peace out.
A sense of community, till the wax a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.